It's time for the Dungeon Dweebs.
The dining room falls silent.
No, I'm not.
There is no margin of error in a blood test.
I don't really understand how your tests work. I think you would have to show me proof. 'Cause I don't know you, so I don't have to believe you.
That's not how truth works.
No, but that's how proof works. That's how trust works. You build it. It doesn't just show up. I look at Catherine. Is she buying this?
She is. 100%.
Can I do an insight check on this whole fucking family? Because this is weird. No one's making a sound. It's just him acting all aloof and shit.
I mean, sure.
It's not great. 16?
With a 16, it seems like pretty much everybody's taking this in stride as if the blood test is something that's very normal.
I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for an emotional response from my supposed mother.
It seems as though she was already informed of this before he announced it to everybody. But that's not unlikely considering they're married.
I don't think... I'm not... What is she looking at? Is she looking at me? Who is she looking at? What is her response to this?
She's looking at you.
How does a blood test work?
We take the blood of the child as well as their parents or whoever they might be related to that is of noble blood. If they are related, the blood will mix and turn blue. If they're not, the blood will not mix.
Hey, not to sound like the Debbie Downer here, and congrats if this is true. She doesn't, points at Reitha, like, she's not getting it, and this is a good thing. I hope you know that. I do want to do an insight check. I'm looking for an emotional response on most of these people here. I want to read on. The reveal has happened, and this is just a surprise, but what is the aftershock of surprise? Are we getting, like, oh, we're happy to see you, or, oh shit, you exist?
Honestly, you don't even need insight for this. It's a little bit of a mix of both. They are happy that they found their lost child, but now they don't know what to do.
Alright, Simon's gonna grab the fork and start tapping on the table, like thinking, but he's just gonna do some hand motions with it. He points at the lord of the house. So, I see there's a button there. It should be a happy moment. But I'm seeing some hesitation there on all of you. Why?
He motions to his son sitting on his left. As you can expect, in the future, one of them will inherit this land. Originally, we had one heir, my son. He's been raised here for 8 years, and preparations for that and his training will continue. But now, we have our daughter who is the eldest. I'm sure you can understand the dilemma.
We all can see she is not qualified to be a proper lady of your house. We can see that. No offense, kid. No offense.
It doesn't even matter, because I will, as an action, use my channel divinity to cast Cloak of Shadows and become invisible, and I will run out of there.
So Gil's gonna click his tongue, and Veruna's basically going to chase after Reitha. How close are you guys with the royal family?
What does that have to do with anything?
She was traveling, as well as him. and Gil's gonna pull out a cut like a seal that he's taking, like the cut open seal that he took from the guards. They were traveling with the royal seal of whoever these guys are.
Lord Alistair looks at you, Simon.
It's true.
How important are you in relation to these people?
Considering the High King is dead, it no longer matters. What's your passive insight, Gil?
17.
He says this, but you can tell he's hiding something regarding that. He's holding something back.
If this is the case, and it's nothing, I'm assuming it would not do much more if word got out that a surprise heiress of yours was found with a, sorry Simon, but a less reputable figure after the death of the High King.
Honestly, no. That wouldn't change anything.
That's good, because a lot just happened. And if any of this is the truth, and Gil's gonna he's gonna twang the way he said truth, as if he picked up on the Lord's phrasing and words, then you will have nothing to worry about. But I'm assuming there's gonna be complications, no matter what.
Not to be the bearer of more negativity. Simon's gonna look at one of the butlers, I'm assuming nearby, or one of the maids. Can you please cover the young lord's ears real quick? It's a shit show when we ran away, good sir. So badly that I do believe half the population might be ashes by now. So, not to be a bearer of bad news of if you're in a line, a cousin, a step cousin, whatever you want to look at it as, they might be looking at your direction one day, or sooner than that.
If the church were to move out of the race and begin attacking any of the 5 kingdoms, just as we were bound to defend the royal family from an impending attack, which we would have if we had known this was going to happen, 5 kingdoms will join forces and crush the church. We have no reservations about that.
And why has that not happened? Even though the High King is dead,
Because the city of Varese is outside of our borders. They have not bothered us, and therefore we will not bother them. They hold no sway over the 5 kingdoms without a king.
Why is there no king? I'm not well versed in politics.
The old king is dead. His heir was killed at the coronation, and as far as anybody knows, there is no other heir.
No family that can take up the responsibility.
No children to speak of.
Well, that's lovely for nobody. But we lost track of the topic at hand, which is the invisible child that ran away. Seriously, what the fuck, people? She's gone, she's back, she can take fucking lessons like everyone else. If you're that concerned about who's gonna take charge after a certain age, you know who's gonna be. It's gonna be your kid. It's gonna be your youngest son.
Well, we are concerned about that. We're less concerned about that and more about the fact that we have a child that we haven't owned for 12 years.
That's not the worst thing.
And what would you know about children?
We're not here to tell you what to do. We're giving you an idea. Instead of treating her like some stranger, treat her as a child lost in a maze and you finally found her. Give her the attention like everyone else would want and see what happens. Because that's all you can do, right? You have enough personnel that can do that for you.
I think at the very least, what we can do for now is give her some space.
Yes, that's exactly what we need to do. Simon's just going to push the table like, thank you for the meal, good sir, ma'am. Good luck with that.
Gil's not finished eating.
Gil, you enjoy your meal, man.
Shivani, where is Reitha gone?
I think Reitha will run to her room in the guest houses, and she's kind of crying in bed. And I'm holding my coin while I'm petting Verona, and I'm gonna cast Sending, and I will say to my mother, my actual mother, the one who raised me, Mama, Our Lady granted me the spell. I'm in Cairnhold. Nobles trying to claim me. I know it's not true. Help me. Bring me home.
You hear no response.
Nothing?
Not a word. After sending this, you hear a light knock on the door. You hear Grayson. Can I come in?
What do you want?
Normally when a child runs out of dinner crying, it's a pretty good sign that something's wrong.
And how come it's you who's following me out? Not my new mom and dad.
Would you listen to them if they tried to talk to you?
They just cared about what they knew and what it meant. They didn't care about me. They're not my parents. I have a mom. Even if it's real, even if they're my blood. I have a mom. I have brother. And I have 2 sisters. And I have a father. I have a family.
I can't speak for how you feel, but I have known the Silvers for a great many years. Maybe try and give them a chance. Get to know them. They are kind people. They'll get to know you at your pace.
I'm tired. And I think she'll maybe start to doze off a little bit as she's like crying in her room, talking to Grayson. She's just a little wrung out.
And after a few moments, sleep finally takes you. Simon, where have you gone?
Oh, I've gone to my room to gear up. So I've been wearing the nice clothes and everything, and I'm now going to go back to my normal nightly attire. So I'm strapping everything together, keeping the jacket nice and snug where I have all my daggers and stuff hidden. And take a deep breath, and I'm going to wait for a moment to get centered, because this is not a job that needs to get botched. He's gonna wait for Sheila, because remembering old tricks, old signals, he's gonna turn off any lights in his room and wait for a flash in the distance, like more or less Morse code and thieves can't, to let me know that the package is ready, and I'm going to slip away into the night through the window.
You're waiting for about 10 minutes. Finally, you see a message, and you slip out.
As I open the window for a second, I pause and I think for a second, and I will the portal to open to bring out the sword.
It opens, and you pull out Dawn's ballad.
I look at it, and I whisper to myself, I'm holding on to this, right? And he's gonna strap it on the side, proceed into the night.
Once Vern has noted that Reitha is going to sleep, she's gonna go back to the dining hall and pull Gil away. After you leave the dining hall, she digs into your pocket and comes out with a paper note in her mouth. Just reads, "Find me, Simon."
Gil, first thing he's gonna do is head to their room. Their shared room.
You get to your room, and you notice that the window is cracked open, and his gear is gone.
Gil is going to grab his bow and quiver of arrows as well. He's gonna gear himself up as well, but with only the essentials for fighting, and jump out of the window.
I will say, before you leave, as you're putting on your gear, you find another note. It reads, "You have allies high and low. Said they roam to and fro. The lone head west towards hills of green. It's there your allies rest unseen."
Do I recognize the handwriting?
you do not, and the note is not signed.
He'll pocket that note, and as he jumps out the window, he's immediately, even though it said west, he's immediately going to look at the tracks and track Simon.
Juan, were you intentionally leaving tracks, or were you going full stealth?
I am going stealth, but the thing is, I am rubbing my hands on tree barks and stuff that is easy to track, if that makes sense. I'm hiding my presence while leaving scent as the key to find me.
Simon, eventually you come to, it seems to be an abandoned warehouse, or maybe a church, you're not sure, you can't really tell, it's pretty run down. But you do see just a little bit of light coming through some of the walls.
I'll just slowly creep down, trying to minimize as much noise as I can. Sheila, you there?
You know you can come inside. The door works.
Simon just sighs and just says, it's called taking precautions. For all I know, this could be someone's camp. Just opens the door.
You open the door, you walk in. She's set up an interesting ritual. She has acquired the human heart, and the child is asleep on a chair nearby.
I look at the ritual. What am I looking at? I see the heart. I see the kid. What else do I recognize from this ritual, if anything?
Very little, but the script that it's written in is celestial.
So what does it say?
It's very simple spell. Like, a lot of the words just seem to be made up. It's a little weird, but the pronunciation is still there. But you're able to piece together enough words that this is going to open a portal to the Feywild and summon forth some type of creature, a pet of the Nightmare Court.
Okay, so you weren't BSing me about the Fey. Wow.
You know, I miss the days when you would just trust what I told you.
I'm sorry. Like, the fact of the matter, you've been dead for many years, and your interest involves hearts, blood, and a kidnapped kid. Excuse me for being a little cautious. Did you forget the rules already? Now, walk through me what the hell you're doing.
Right, so this sigil on the wall is where the portal is going to open. Creature comes out, flies out, falls on the floor. Not 100% clear on that part. Goes towards the nearest mortal, preferably not you. I break the connection with this crystal, and it gets transferred to me and either accepts me as a host or turns me into a pile of goo and then goes towards the nearest mortal.
Why this one here? Does it have to be him?
No, but it certainly makes for a better story.
You know, funny enough, I don't really care for stories. Because, we're living a hell of a life right now.
Well, maybe you are. I've been living as a financial clerk for the past 6 years.
Why not just use me instead of the kid? Because if I remember correctly, you mentioned that the odds are in your favor mostly.
Dear, if you're still a virgin at whatever age you're at now, you really need to get out more.
Okay, yes, I am. Happy, yes. As for going out more, I've been too busy trying to survive and mourning you people, all of you, each and every single one of you, doing your bucket lists. But I'm not here to rage in a crypt.
Well, there is a decent chance you die. So if you're willing to sacrifice your life for a child you don't know, from a family you don't know, be my guest.
That's the thing, though. I do know this kid now. I've met the family. I've ate dinner with them.
Look, are you willing to sacrifice yourself or not? Because if not, we should really get started.
Fucking hell. Yeah, sure. Because you said it yourself. There's no way there's no way this can go wrong. And I'm trusting you on this because the fact of the matter is, this plan sounds insane.
Well, if that's the case, then we're going to have to find someone else to read the spell.
Can I not just read it in the damn circle?
No, that's not how this works. You have to be asleep.
You can't read it, I can, and they have to be asleep. Fuck. Simon just covers his face and just, the muffled scream like, fine. Okay, this kid has to survive. Okay, we can make this work. Where's the fucking pages? Where's the book? Where is it? Let's get this started.
She pushes the book over to you and stands next to the child. Whenever you're ready.
He starts reading.
You see a small rift of light open in front of the sigil on the wall. It expands, and you see what looks mostly like a bat kind of flutter out and begin going towards the child before Sheila crushes the crystal in her hand, and it circles around and begins going towards her instead. And then you hear a loud pound on the door. You turn to look. The door splinters and then explodes inwards. And standing there, you see the face of the man that killed the Bleeding Hearts. Hey everyone, Jon here. As always, we just want to say thanks for listening to our podcast. This is a passion project that we're not able to dedicate a lot of time to, but we're doing the best we can to tell a great story that's worth coming back to. If you haven't already, open up your Instagram and drop a follow on @dungeondweebspod to keep up to date on all of our releases and any other content we have available. You can also subscribe to the Dungeon Dweebs on YouTube or join our subreddit at r/dungeondweebs. As always, tell your friends, tell your family, and tell your own party to join in on the adventure via Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. With all that said, without further ado, let's jump right back into the story.
What the fuck?
Sheila's looking at this as well, and she says, I thought you killed him?
So did I!
Right. Fun fact about vampires, they don't die unless you cut off their head, so keep them off me until the ritual's done. I can't really move from this spot.
Are you kidding? He pulls out a fucking sword and a dagger and he's getting ready to fight for his life.
The vampire locks eyes with you. Ah, so you're the one who put Jimmy to sleep for a few hours. It's been a few years.
How'd you get here? Why are you still here? Just die already!
He launches himself forward at you.
Yeah. Sword in hand and dagger and just thinking to himself, shit.
He punches you, you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And the second one, he is going to attempt to grapple you. You're trying to beat an 18.
22. Acrobatics.
Yeah, he managed to slip out of his grasp as he makes the grab for you. Just stay still, won't you? And that'll be your turn.
I will now start swing him with the sword, and I'm going to do a maneuver called trip attack and hope for the best. 26.
That hits the roll damage.
I need a strength save on this guy, please.
That is a success.
Okay, so he takes 22 points of slashing damage. I'm going for the second attack. I'm going to attempt to, again, trip attack one more time. Let's see this. I need this guy to fall. Does a 19 hit?
19 does hit. Succeeds again.
22 again. I'm going to action surge. I'm burning through my superiority die until he drops. Strength save?
Succeeds on the strength.
16 points again.
Alright, he is going to make one more grab for you.
21.
One succeeds. Why won't you just listen? And I need you to make me a wisdom save.
13?
He takes a step closer and he says, Look into my eyes. And you are now charmed by the vampire. And he is going to make a bite attack on you. You are currently a willing target. 5 points of piercing damage, 12 points of necrotic, and your max HP is reduced by 12. And Gil, that will be your turn.
I'll move to the front of the door, and if I would see in time the stranger bite Simon, would it be safe to assume I would know he's a vampire?
I would say at this point he's moved on from biting Simon and is currently moving towards the woman that has a bat attached to her chest.
There's a lot going on in that room. Is the sleeping child on anything, or is it on the floor?
He's on a chair.
Alright. So, can I cast Spike Growth inside of the cabin? 20-foot area, foot radius centered on a point in range, twists and sprouts, hard spikes and thorns. Becomes difficult terrain for the duration, and when a creature is on it, they take 2d4 damage every time they move, every 5 feet. And it's camouflage, so they need to make a DC check to see what it is.
Okay, where exactly are you casting this?
I would say from an area of at the a tree line that sees into the front, is seeing the whole debacle going on inside. So
do you want it centered on the vampire or somewhere else?
How big is the cabin?
This is like the size of a small cathedral.
Oh, I'll put it. I guess centered on the. If I could put, centered on the guy. I don't know how far away I would be at that point. But as my bonus action, I will have Varuna fly in and take a nasty bite at the vampire. 16 plus 7. I'm assuming that hits. So 12 lightning damage.
As the Drake bites Donovan, he yells at you, Simon, says, "Attack that man. Protect me." Simon, it is your turn.
Alright, bonus action, I sprout my wings. The dye disappears and it's glowing platinum, the eyes glow and be not afraid. And spectral glowing wings pop out, and I just see you, and I have my orders. I will attack. I will fly my 30 feet to get to you. So does a 19 hit, and does a 14 hit?
19 hits.
Alright, cool. So one of them fails. I'm going to do... I've been told to hit you. Question, John. Is this a case of me, I need to kill this man? I must go as hard as I can, or no?
He did say basically kill the intruder, so yeah.
Alright, cool. I will do a gloating attack. 19 points of damage, and I need you to give me a will save of 16.
17. And you said 19 points of damage. What kind of damage?
19 points of slashing and 3 points of radiant.
Alright. That is going to be Donovan's turn. Donovan is going to jump out of the spike growth towards the two of you fighting, and he is going to run over. And Gil, I'm going to need a wisdom save.
17.
The vampire grabs your arm, looks you in the eye, and says, "Listen to my voice." And you are now charmed by the vampire.
Runa's not. Runa also has high wisdom and can possibly tell, and I'm assuming she can tell, that's not right.
For this instance, I'll let her do one turn with an action.
She's gonna chomp on Gil. 16 plus 5, she hits.
Right, you can remake the save.
21.
You break it. Simon, it is your turn.
So I'm going to go swing again at Gil.
Roll the hit.
I rolled a 4 to 3, so none of those are going to hit.
Alright, that is going to go back to the top of the order. Enough of this, and he is going to make an unarmed strike against you. That is a natural 20. I need dex or strength of 18 or higher. We're going to make this a disadvantage for the crit.
21 is my lowest.
That will be your turn.
He's going to first command Varuna to attack Simon. Does an 18 to hit.
No.
First attack does an 18 to hit.
No, it does not.
Okay. Second attack does a nat 20. So that's 8 plus another 2. So 10 just normal damage off the crit, and then I roll a d4, a 3, and I do 1d6 poison damage each of those turns. He takes 6 poison damage. 11, so it's 11 poison damage total. And he has 3 rounds to go through that. So.
Okay. He's going to make an attack on you in exchange for that. That is another natural 20. 11 bludgeoning damage. And Simon, that's your turn.
I'm still charmed. Next swing. One's definitely a miss. The other one does a 16 hit.
No, both miss.
Sheila screams out in pain, and then sucks it up and continues what she's doing. And that is going to be his turn. He is going to make 2 attacks on you. First one misses. Second one hits. That's 12 bludgeoning damage. Yeah, that'll be his turn.
15 plus 5, 20 for Varuna to hit Simon. Make your save, and you take 5 plus 5, 5 plus 5, 10. So you take 10 lightning damage.
Does a 19 make it?
19 does make it.
Also, Donovan takes 6 poison damage. And Gil is going to attack Donovan. 14 plus 7. 6 plus 4 is 10 slashing damage, and Varuna will use her reaction to infuse a strike to add 3 lightning damage to it. And then the second attack is a 17 plus 7, 24. That's 6. So 6 plus 4 is 10 magical slashing.
Donovan is going to move and walk up onto the roof because spotted flying. Simon, that's your turn.
So I fly, I move there, I just slash at this guy. I am trying to do a trip attack, if that's even possible. Is he on the wall upside down or on the side?
He's on the roof.
Oh, I'm gonna do gloating, so I need a will save on this guy.
That is a success.
36 points of damage. And the other one's gonna be a 22, so that one will hit. 13 points of slashing. Yeah, so 13 points, and I'm going to use my bonus action second wind and heal myself a bit. And that's the end of my turn.
Gil, you see the woman across the room next to the child begins coughing up blood, convulsing, and then she begins to melt. And the creature that was on her chest screeches and latches onto the child next to it. That'll be Donovan's turn. He hears this screech. Simon, you see him look directly past you. He is going to disengage, transform, and fly away. You are now out of combat.
Yeah, no, Simon flies down, still glowing radiant. This thing is still on top of the kid.
You see a bloody puddle next to Heston. And you see this bat-like creature has burrowed into his chest. He looks up at you with bloodshot eyes and disappears.